So I think that takes me on to the part where I want to get a bit more practical for the viewers. So, as a coach, you help people sort of start to get closer to identifying what their true values are, how this can then impact on them achieving and moving towards their life purpose. And also, I think you work around helping people navigate through change. So I think first, if we take it as a kind of a real life process, what tools or what advice do you give to people who are making that change and have decided, okay, I'm not too happy with where I am here, I want to move there, I'm scared about that in-between part, that leap. What do you advise for that, taking that leap and pushing yourself to kind of get through those difficult patches?
So I think that the most important thing is getting to know yourself in whatever way you can. And there are so many different ways that you can do that. You can do it on a very low budget of gaining access to as many different profiling tools as possible, right? If you've got a budget, being able to work with a coach who you really like. There's 12 million coaches out there.
Everyone's a life coach.
Everyone's a life coach. And, most of them, I've been through so many coaches because I meet somebody, I think they're okay, and then they start coaching me. I'm like, no, I'm not putting up with this, right? So if it will speed up the process significantly if you work with someone, but not every coach, and not even every amazing coach, not even the coach that gets recommended to you is necessarily going to be right for you. So you have to find a coach or a teacher or a mentor or a guide or someone that calls them some sort of name that you feel like that person can help you understand yourself better, or for the viewer to understand themselves better. And you really have to like and trust them. You have to like how they're showing up in the world. So the clients who come to me, they like my raw, vulnerable, excitable, sometimes swearing, big version of me, right? And that completely turns other people off, right? So it's about finding the person who's right for you to be able to help. And the key thing in being able to make that transition is to be able to empower yourself, whether it's through coaching or it's just, it's deciding to go along to every Tony Robbins live event that you can. It doesn't matter, right? And none of them are right or wrong or better or worse. It's just about, finding the right teachers and guides for you. However you access them, free books at the library, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. However you do it, it's about empowering yourself. So the best gift that I or any other, teacher or guide or mentor can give you is to go, great, let's help Artie find out everything about herself. Because then that empowers you for you to be able to navigate through that change and always come back to what you know is true about you, right? Because that's all I'm ever doing as a coach. I'm helping somebody to understand. I say know self, love self, and be self, know self, and love self, right? So it's about helping that person really understand who they are. How is Artie different to Caroline, different to the person watching? And then the tools to be able to be themselves better. And then to love who they are, It might sound all a bit like wooey and airy-fairy, but damn, we're so taught to love other people, and how much love have we got to give another person if we look in the mirror and we don't like who's looking back at us, So it's so much about empowering yourself to know yourself better. Because then when it comes to making those steps, making those leaps, leaving that job, leaving that relationship, leaving that country, whatever, you just have to come back to yourself and what is true for you, what works for you, and use that information to then navigate through that change. Yeah.
And I guess that leads quite well on to the importance of knowing your values. And that's almost the foundation of anything that you wish to then create from that point onwards, be it a business, a relationship, anything. How do you help clients go about finding what their core values are?
It's interesting. I used to do a lot of work around value stuff, especially when I was really heavily influenced by the work of Dr. John Demartini. So in terms of somebody better understanding their values, that's a place that I recommend that they have a look at. Is Dr. John Demartini's work. On Amazon, you can buy his Values Factor book for $20 or $30 or something, and that has really in-depth processes. So to be honest, a lot of the time I will use the resources that are available to be able to lead people through. And really, even under the values, it's a how do I get to know myself better? And it can be even on a more like moment by moment awareness of, well, in this moment, like when this interview finishes, I'm going to ask myself, what do I want now? And then I'm going to work out whether or not I want to go and get a coffee and sit in that coffee shop and do my work there, or whether or not I want to go to the co-working space and go and do that. So I think that you can do some very deliberate strategic work around values, and it was definitely a strong focus for me for a while. And anyone who does want to take that approach, I highly recommend John Demartini's work for that. And yes, for myself, I have an awareness like, yes, travel is important, adventure is important, teaching and learning is important. But you can also find those out simply by living in your moment by moment experience and going, well, what do I want now? And what do I want now? And giving it to yourself. It's such a beautiful gift, right? And that's one of the beautiful things about being somewhere like Bali, where you can like break the routine, break the habits, because you're in a new location. So many of our habits and so much of our behaviour is linked to our physical location. And then you can just ask yourself, well, what do I feel like doing now? And if you get to the end of the day and you're like, I don't really feel like I'm ready to go to bed yet. What was your day missing? Right. Did you need some more exercise for you to feel good and be in your body? Did you need to have another deep, meaningful conversation with another person? Do you need to just be in the general buzz of other people some more? Do you need to go and explore the beautiful island that you're on? Right? So there are all these clues if we like. I think present moment awareness is such a gift, because when we come into the present, then we can go, well, what do I want now? And it really helps us to understand the things that are important to us. It's kind of like giving yourself an opportunity to do a reboot, because we've gone through life with being so heavily conditioned by those around us. If you have had any study of childhood psychology, you'll know from 0 to 7, we're like this big open funnel where mum and dad, teachers and preachers pop everything in, and we've got no filter, we've got no sensor. So then, we become like who we've been conditioned to be, and that's totally fine. But then as a 30-something-year-old, it's like, oh, well, now I'm ready to, let go of that stuff that no longer serves me. Thank you, the conditioning helped me stay safe. It means that I can cross the street without being hit by a bus. I needed that conditioning in order to learn that. But hang on, can I rewrite my own operations manual for life now? And having present moment awareness really helps you to then go, well, I think I should do this, but actually what do I want to do? And then you can just rewrite it that way. And in that process, that's where your values start to come through, because you can look at your life, and so much of what you will have done in your life, probably, especially if you're just considering breaking away from corporate, there'll be so much stuff in there that's just the conditioned self, and it's not truly you. So this period of getting to know yourself and stripping back that conditioning, and by being present, really helps. Anything that helps you be in the present moment. And then ask, well, what do I want now? And it's going to unfold in front of you.
Yeah, what I'm really hearing from that is just checking in with your feelings all the time, that's such a big indication as to what you want. And shift over the should and get into your body and get into that moment.
Yeah. And if I can say something on that, some people will say feelings, some people will say emotions, some people will say sensations, some people will say gut. Yeah. All of this depends a little bit on how you configured from a human design perspective,
okay.
right? So I'm an emotionally defined person, which means you can ask me any time of day how I feel, and I can always tell you, right? However, there are about 50% of the population who, anytime you ask them how they're feeling, unless something catastrophic has happened or something awesome like they've just published a book has happened, they're pretty much always going to answer with, yeah, I'm fine or I'm good. And there's not that they're like emotionally devoid of feeling. It's just that energetically their human design makeup is different, right? So, you know, it may be for the viewer that in the present moment they can come back to this idea of what they want, and it might have a feeling attached, or it might have emotion attached, but it might just be the gut says, I want to do this. The body is just propelled to go do capoeira or garden or whatever, right? So they might use different language, yeah. But if you can be in the present moment, you'll have, and you can switch off the mind, then you'll have a knowing of like, well, actually, right now I want to drink water. Well, look, my mouth told me I'm thirsty, right? So I had a sensation. And it can just be as simple as going, I'm thirsty, I want water, and then giving it to myself.
Like that. Perfect. Well, that's really, really insightful, and I appreciate that so much. I like to ask everyone what they are most excited about right now. What are you up to? Where can we find you? And yeah, what's really firing you up and charging you up out here in Bali?
Okay, so what I'm up to at the moment is I have been going through, I did one yesterday, so a workshop for one of the human design types called manifestors, right? So there are 4, some people say 5 different types, right? So manifestors, generators, projectors, and then a couple of others. And so basically I've been going through and serving the groups of women who find and follow my work, and going, okay, cool, manifestors. Okay, we're going to put you all in a room and we're going to teach you about you. And so I did that yesterday with those women, and that was great fun. We recorded it, and then the recording will be available on my website. And so the next trick is to do it for all of the other projectors who have been going, hey, you've been looking after the generators, and you've been looking after the manifestors, what about us? Yeah. So they're next. And so I'll have a room full of projectors and I'll teach them about themselves. And so I'm really enjoying like just these small online group workshops where I'm really teaching and engaging and answering questions around what's really going on for them. And so that's my focus at the moment for the next few months anyways, going through and serving each of those different groups to make sure that they understand themselves better, and recording the whole lot so then people can buy the recording off the website, because obviously there's going to be projectors who meet me like the day after I've done the event, and I'm not going to run one every week, so you know, being able to do that, so that's the one of the things I'm excited that I'm playing with at the moment. And another one is, oh, am I going to share this here? Okay, this is the first official public sharing. You heard it here first. I'm very excited about bringing more adventure back into my life. There was a period, Artie, where I did 5 ultramarathons in 5 years. Which basically means I ran a stupidly long distance for a stupidly long time, and I did it 5 times.
Wow, okay.
So, and if you ever want like personal development in moving, go do a really, really, really long solo run.
Right, okay.
That's a great, so I need to add that to the list. You can go to the library and read some books, you can go to some personal development events, you can get a coach, or you can just run a really, really long distance on your own, and you'll learn a lot about yourself. Lots of thinking time, lots of processing time, lots of, oh wow, look at that moon at 4 o'clock in the morning when it's 3 degrees. Isn't it beautiful? Wow. Oh, I still have 10 kilometres uphill to go to the finish line. Oh, and how do I feel about that? Right? So I have recently decided that, you know, I have got comfortable here in Bali. You know, when I first got here to Bali, it was like there's lots of new stuff to take on. I've made lots of shifts in my business, and that's all pretty adventurous, right? I have to remember it's pretty adventurous, right? But I know that I'm capable of much bigger things, like doing 100-kilometre races, like these races that I spoke about. And so it's time for me to do something that I think I'm going to call 1,000 new things.
Oh, I like that.
So my highest values, I guess you could say, I call them my hashtags for life.
Okay.
Inspire through sharing my stories and what I'm up to. Exploring, so doing cool things to tell people about.
Yeah.
Not just to tell people about them, but to do cool things.
Yeah.
Teach and learn. Right? So I love learning new things, which is very much tied to the exploring, and I love teaching new things, which is very much tied to the inspiring, right? So I was like, well, Caroline, you're doing lots of teaching and learning, but it's very much through the lens of human design and helping people understand the importance of getting present and, you know, all of that sort of stuff. I'm like, you need to go on some more adventures. So taking a leaf out of the book of Dave Corthwaite, who you can Google, Say Yes More, I was like, well, he's doing these big crazy adventures. I'm totally capable of that. What do I want my adventure to look like? And I realised that I love going on adventures in the outdoors, and I love learning new things. So I think this is going to be called, it's in draft, I have the whole draft page on my website that it's like I'm not ready to launch, but maybe now I have to. Maybe I'll hit publish on the day that you tell me this is going live. And 1,000 New Things is my way of going, when we learn new things, we have to grow in order to do that. Like I couldn't finish a 100-kilometre race without growing into the woman who was capable of doing that. And so that's what I love. It's like, dare I say, forced personal development.
Yeah.
Spiritual growth through doing, right? So then I look at the things that I really love, which is like travel and learning new languages and finding new ways to play in my body and move and do things in different kinds of dance, and new ways of interacting with fellow human beings. And so I've just started creating this list of 1,000 new things that are things that feel scary or exciting or both, where I have to grow in order to complete it. And they tick off the things that are in my values list, right? And so I think I'm up to 62.
Wow.
Like the adding to the list of 1,000 is going to be just as much as ticking them off.
Yeah.
But already the 62 things I have on there are things like, you know, learn to say thank you to 100 people in 100 different languages.
Oh, wow.
Right? And
That's
it's
lovely.
like, it just feels beautiful. And now I have a lot of languages to learn. Even if because to me, thank you is the two most useful words I can learn in any language, along with the other three of I love you, you know? And so I'm like, okay, cool, I love it. Like, it feels exciting, it feels beautiful. I'm going to have to it's 100 languages is a lot of languages. Like, I love languages, but right now I can only say thank you in about 10. So I've got like 90 to go. Right? So anyone who hears this and can speak another language, especially if it's like a really obscure language, you know, you can
send it Caroline's way.
Yeah. So, segue on that, how do people find me? CarolineSouthwell.com, CarolineSouthwell.com is my website where I have everything, and sure, I'm shifting and changing and adding new pages and stuff all the time, but I expect that default to stay the same until further notice, probably as long as I'm in this body, and go by that name. So CarolineSouthwell.com. I've also got a Facebook page, Caroline Southwell, and another useful one, anyone who's really interested in the human design side of things, my YouTube channel, if you just Google search YouTube Caroline Southwell, you'll probably see some version of this face and this hair, maybe like this, in a bunch of different videos that run through the basics, so the stuff that we're talking about, type, strategy, authority, that sort of stuff, to be able to help people understand the basics. So we don't get lost in the depth, we just go, what are the 1, 2, 3 things that you need to understand about yourself so that you can go start making those changes. You know, leave that job, leave that relationship, leave that country, make some changes to be able to make your life more of what you want it to look like. Yeah.
Amazing. Very exciting. I love that 1,000 New Things idea. Brilliant. Well, best of luck with that.
Thanks.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be my plaything for years to come.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So last but not least,
Yes.
if you had one message to share with the world, what would it be?
It would be drinking water.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Stay hydrated, people.
It's simple. You're amazing. Be yourself.
I love that.
It's like every time I come back to trying to make it like more simple and like more in depth, more juice, more like every time I go, oh no, but it's too simple. And it's like, no, but it's perfect. It says everything that it needs to know, right? Most people don't realize how amazing they are and how much awesome stuff they're capable of doing. If they could actually look in the mirror and go, oh, you're amazing. Oh yeah, cool. Like, so I think we don't reinforce that enough, that you know, every single one of us is amazing in our own way. And to really access that amazingness, we need to be ourselves. You know, I'm going to be a way less cool version of Caroline Southwell if I try and be like Artie, and likewise, and vice versa. You know, so that's it. Like, you're amazing, be yourself.
I love that. I love the simplicity of it. Yeah, I don't need to expand on that, because that's just beautiful. Thank you so much, Caroline. I really appreciate your time. You have so much amazing light to share with the world, and I'm excited to follow the rest of your journey. And thank you for sharing.
Thanks for having me
with us. And we'll see more of you, I'm sure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you heard today and how you'll take on board some of the information and techniques that Caroline shared with us. As always, comments below, greatly appreciated. And I guess I'll see you on the next episode of Life by Design. Until then, love, light, and miracles to you all. Bye.